Well, did you know April is National Donate Life Month, where we celebrate those who have received transplants, recognize those who continue to wait for one, and honor donors and their families. But the need is very large, with more than 22,000 people on the waiting list for an organ just here in the state of California. Joining us now is Chaplain Jeremy Brown with Doctors Medical Center to talk more about National Donate Life Month. Jeremy, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for this opportunity.
So you are one of these guys that walks families through this process, and it's a process that can be very complicated. It can be very time consuming. What do families and what do those who receive a donation go through to get to the point where they actually get that life-saving organ?
You know, I got to be honest, words cannot describe what these families go through. I mean, and the people we're talking about, just, you know, they're our neighbors. These are people from our community that we see around town that we love, and so they go through so much. So when I walk with people through these types of situations, it's almost kind of this dual reality of extreme grief and loss, obviously, of their loved one, but also every time I see a family in this situation, there's also this kind of mix of extreme gratitude and almost a sense of pride that their loved one is making this generous sacrificial choice to give hope to other people through organ and tissue donation.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible gift that somebody can give, and I can only imagine how honored and how proud of their family members they must be when one of those organs is used from one of their loved ones. Let's talk more about the need itself in California. We had a graphic up, we'll bring it up again. 22,000 people waiting for organ donations in California alone, and the number of people that die every day waiting for an organ donation is pretty staggering.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, these are people that we know in our communities. And there is a desperate need for organ donation and tissue donation. And I can tell you story after story after story. You know, as someone who works in the hospital, I get to know a little bit about the families and the patients who will be receiving these organs and tissue donations. And all up and down the West Coast, you know, I meet teams as they come in to take organs and other donations to other hospitals in our region. And it's amazing to hear about the people who will be receiving these gifts.
What are some misconceptions out there about organ donation? I mean, when it comes to something so fascinating and so life-saving as actually putting somebody else's organ in another body to give them more life, I mean, there's going to be a lot of misinformation out there, of course.
Well, you know, my job here in the hospital is pretty focused on spiritual care. And so, you know, I've met many people with faith, people of faith, who just simply don't have the education yet to understand what it's really all about. And I got to tell you, personal story here, it wasn't until I started working in the hospital, you know, I'm a person of faith in God, and it wasn't until I started working in the hospital that I truly understood just the miracle that takes place. And you know, I can't think of a better picture of God's redemptive power, you know, taking something that is tragic, something that is extremely broken and just horrible, a horrible situation, and using it for some kind of good. And so I would just encourage anybody who's out there who's thinking about this, who may have questions, go to Donate Life. There's a website, and there's tons of information that will answer a lot of your questions.
Wow, Jeremy Brown, that was really beautiful, beautifully put. How you described that, you know, that redemptive spirit involved in all this, and how it's basically a miracle. So, what an awesome job that you have. I urge you to one day write a book on all those families that you walk through that process. That would be a book that I would want to read.
Jeremy Brown, I had the time.
I know. Put it on the list though, because it'd be a good one.
That's absolutely on the list.
You have a great weekend. Happy Friday, okay, Jeremy?
Okay, God bless you. Thank you so much.